Welcome to Adventures in TV Land. For today's adventure, we've come to Destrehan, Louisiana, to take a tour of the Destrehan Plantation. Destrehan Plantation is an antebellum mansion in Destrehan, Louisiana. The plantation is one of the oldest houses in Louisiana and is the oldest house in the lower Mississippi River Valley. And as such, it is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Construction of the home began in 1787. Property was owned by Robin Delaunay, and he actually contracted with a mulatto carpenter named Charles Paquet to build the house for him. It took 3 years before it was completed. Now, Paquet was actually a slave at the time when he began building the house, but by the time the process of the house was completed, or shortly thereafter, he was a free man. As part of his compensation, he was given a slave of his own, as well as a cow, a calf, 100 bushels of corn and rice, and $100 in cash. Robin Delaunay died just a couple years after the house was completed, and his property was purchased by his son-in-law, Jean-Noel Destrehan. Originally, the property was an indigo farm, but due to some crop failures in the 1790s, it eventually transferred to a sugarcane plantation. In 1811, Destrehan was one of the sites that was part of the 1811 German Coast Uprising, which was a major slave revolt. This slave revolt was the largest slave insurgency in the history of the United States. The total of the slaves that were involved in the revolt was between 200 to 500. It was a 2-day, over 20-mile march where they went along the coast, burning several plantation houses, and it resulted in the deaths of at least 95 slaves. After the Civil War, the plantation became the headquarters, or at least one of the headquarters, for the Freedmen's Bureau, and the Rost Home Colony was established there. The property was purchased by what became the American Oil Company in 1914. A refinery was established on the property, and the plantation home was actually used as a clubhouse for members of the company. The property was donated to the River Road Historical Society in 1971, and ever since then, they have been working to restore the property and to tell the history and the story of the people who lived here, both the free and enslaved. Now this here is in the actual document signed by President Thomas Jefferson and Secretary of State James Madison that appointed Jean-Noel Destrehan as part of the 4-person council for the territorial state of Louisiana. And those 4 people were responsible to organize the territorial state of Louisiana and write the territory's laws. Now this is a segment of the original brick that was originally designed for the plantation. So a lot of this brick has been lost over time. This is a segment that has been preserved for history. Here we are looking at a section of mud that was behind the wooden slats here in this room. Those indentations you see there are the fingerprints of the slaves who helped build this building. If fingertips could speak, what would these say? Now, scenes from the 1994 movie Interview with a Vampire were filmed in this bedroom here. And this bed, it can be seen in the movie. Take a look at the bed here in the background of the scene, and in a moment, we'll just do a comparison. You can see the bed in the bedroom. There you have it. This was the room where these scenes were filmed at, with the same bed. All right, this building here is a recreated slave quarters. And they have listed here on the outside all of the known men, women, and children who were enslaved during the history of the Destrehan Plantation. On one side, we have the shows what the slave quarters looked like. Now the other side of the building, as you see, it's been set up as the cooper shop. Now a cooper shop is where barrels were made and repaired. There were sometimes other items were repaired there. It was kind of sometimes a generic woodworking shop. This building here is the outdoor kitchen. Kind of shows and illustrates how the preparation kitchen was. Of course, the kitchen was outside of the house due to the heat. Now this building here, there's actually a small little museum inside here. The museum is about the 1811 slave revolt, and there are a lot of artifacts and items from that, as well as historical documents, and it tells the story of what happened on the 1811 German Coast Uprising. In this little cabin here, it is set up as the trapper's cabin. This here is the field bell, and this is the bell was used to regulate the day-to-day activities of the slaves. Well, this has been another adventure in TV land. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you disliked, hit the dislike button. Thank you for watching. Until next time, that's a wrap.